Let's just get this out of the way right now. When the palace goes quiet, it's never because things are calm. Oh no, darling. When Buckingham Palace zips its lips, that's the royal version of a 5-alarm fire. And right now, that silence is screaming because something huge is brewing behind those gold-trimmed doors. And guess who's smack dab in the center of the royal chaos again? You guessed it, Meghan Markle. Yep, again.
Wake up, Harry.
Yeah.
Wake up. You're in a spiral downward. You're gonna crash and burn. You are crashing and burning.
Look, we've all seen the drama, the family feuds, the tabloid meltdowns, the mysterious leaks, but what's happening now? Honey, it's on a whole different level. This isn't about Meghan being left off an invite list or her outfit choices getting roasted online. No, this is dark, twisted, and, according to insiders, borderline explosive. Why? Because Meghan reportedly has something major, not just power, we're talking leverage.
She definitely has collateral on Harry because there is absolutely no way that Prince William would be letting this happen if she was not blackmailing.
Not whispers, not rumors, actual evidence, files, recordings, videos, maybe even surveillance level stuff. Nothing's been confirmed, of course, and that's what's making everyone lose it. No one knows what she has, but apparently she's dropped enough cryptic clues to have palace insiders convinced she's sitting on a real-life vault of secrets. And no, that's not a metaphor. They believe she's got an actual stash of sensitive, possibly damning material.
She stuck him in another country. He no longer has a job. He doesn't speak to his family, and he has minor children in the United States. So she's effectively trapped him.
And just that suggestion alone has everyone walking on eggshells. So how the heck did we even get here? Rewind for a sec to Meghan's new business venture, her Rose brand. Sounds harmless, right? Another celeb launching a wine line. But the timing, sweetie, that's what had jaws dropping. She launched it on Princess Diana's birthday. Yep, the same Diana who tragically died in a car crash involving alcohol. To the public, it was eyebrow raising. But to Prince William, it was a knife to the heart. He didn't throw a tantrum, no statement, no subtle press response. But people close to him, they say his rage was volcanic. Why? Because when William and Harry were little boys, they made a pact, a promise, to never ever profit from their mother's memory.
Yeah, what has he done with this Netflix series? He's used his mother to sell it. Could there be a more grotesque exploitation or a more hypocritical one?
And then Meghan goes and drops a luxury alcohol brand on Diana's birthday. People in the palace, they don't think that was a mistake. They think it was cold, calculated, deliberate. But here's where it gets chilling. Why didn't William retaliate? Why didn't the palace at least fire back with a tiny little PR jab? That's where the story takes a sharp turn. Insiders say Meghan made it very clear. Mess with her and the insurance gets leaked. And apparently, she doesn't even need to show it. The threat alone is enough. Whatever's inside that digital vault of hers, it's got the entire firm paralyzed. And Harry, whew, something he's in on it. Others believe he's stuck. Either way, he's definitely not the Harry we used to know.
And he's become less and less and less of a man continuously every month, every year.
If you've seen him lately, you know, something's off. In interviews, he seems detached, nervous, repetitive. Sometimes it looks like he's not even there. That blank stare, it's not just nerves. People around him say he's emotionally spiraling. Either he's being controlled or he's hiding something massive. And what about Queen Camilla? Oh honey, she's done playing nice. With King Charles reportedly battling declining health, yes, the rumors of incurable cancer are swirling. Camilla has stepped up. Calls from Harry being screened. Meghan's messages ignored. Some staff are whispering that Camilla isn't protecting Harry anymore. She's protecting the crown from him. The most unsettling part? Meghan doesn't seem the least bit rattled. In fact, she's already plotting her next move. Another product drop, allegedly tied to yet another royal date. Maybe an anniversary, maybe something even more sacred. Either way, the palace is bracing for another emotional hit. Not because of the product, because of the pattern. Meghan's strategy is clear. Control the narrative, spark chaos, and cash in on the drama. Even if it means weaponizing royal grief. And guess what? It's working. This isn't about making headlines anymore. This is a battle for power. And according to people close to this royal disaster, Meghan might actually be winning. There's even a saying buzzing through palace staff right now. She doesn't need the crown. She just needs the camera. Oof, that says everything. Critics call it narcissism. Fans call it branding. But the ones living in the middle of it, they call it dangerous. Because when royal traditions get twisted into tools for profit, things can spiral fast. And the Diana birthday drop? That was just the beginning. What has insiders really freaking out is what Meghan's supposedly been building this whole time, an insurance portfolio. That's right, according to someone who once worked with Team Sussex, Meghan's been gathering receipts since before Megxit even went public. We're talking a digital vault, not just texts or emails, but voice memos, hidden camera clips, heated arguments caught on smart home devices, maybe even hotel surveillance footage. And the palace, they have no idea what's in it, but they believe it's real. And that belief alone is causing full-blown panic. Legal teams have been briefed. Every word in communication is now under scrutiny. And get this, some palace courtiers won't even say Harry or Meghan's names during private meetings unless there's a second person present. That's how intense the fear is. One wrong sentence and boom, it's in the next Netflix doc or podcast special. But here's the real twist. While Meghan's apparently holding this massive threat over the palace like a royal sword of Damocles, her grip on Hollywood is slipping fast. Remember when she was the toast of every elite event, the it girl of progressive glamour? Well, not anymore. That buzz turned into baggage. The invites have dried up. She's not even making the guest list for the kinds of events she used to float through with ease. And it's not just bad PR, it's reputation burn out. One Hollywood producer summed it up savagely. There's a difference between being polarizing and being radioactive. And right now, Meghan Markle is radioactive. Nobody wants to risk their brand by standing next to someone who might drop a Netflix-style bombshell the second things go sour. Especially now that her story of royal escape isn't reading as heroic anymore. It's reading like a playbook for manipulation. And Harry? Oh God, he's smack in the middle of it. Those who knew him before say he's a shell of who he was. Thinner, twitchier, emotionally gone. He's fidgety, withdrawn, and the spark that once made him Prince Charming, it's dimmed big time. And the speculation is wild. Is he on something? Antidepressants? Anti-anxiety meds? Maybe even something stronger. No confirmations, of course, but the vacant stares, the slurred speeches, the off-kilter energy, it's not imagined. Even Harry's loyal circle seems to be unraveling. James Holt, once one of their fiercest defenders, was caught liking posts tied to Prince William's allies. Oh yes, that tiny move. It sent royal watchers into a frenzy. Was it a cry for help, a quiet walk back, or the start of a bigger exit plan? Because here's the terrifying truth. More and more people are whispering, this is going to implode, and no one wants to be standing too close when it happens. The emotional toll on Harry is becoming impossible to ignore. Former palace staff are talking loudly. One aide said, he's barely functioning. Another claimed, you don't need to be in the room to see he's not well. There's growing concern for his mental health, his isolation, even his safety. But here's the million-dollar question. Why hasn't he left? Is it guilt? Loyalty? Fear of what Meghan might do if he walks? Or does he truly believe he's protecting his family by staying silent? Whatever the truth is, one thing's obvious. Harry is not calling the shots anymore. He's just trying to survive them. And now there's a chilling theory spreading like wildfire. That so-called vault Meghan supposedly has, it's not just leverage. It's a countdown. A quiet threat that becomes more dangerous the longer it stays locked. And the truly terrifying part, she might not ever need to open it. She just needs everyone to believe it exists. And that belief has frozen the palace, because once belief takes root, it doesn't need proof. It just needs silence. And honey, the royal silence lately, it's been deafening. Inside the palace, it's full-blown crisis mode. Legal advisors are digging up old NDAs. Communication teams have multiple pre-written statements ready to go, just in case that vault sees the light of day. There are even emergency plans on the table to strip Harry and Meghan of their titles, not because they want to, but because they might have to protect what's left of the monarchy. One insider put it brutally straight, if that file sees daylight, we'll need to burn the house down just to save the crown. Meanwhile, Meghan, she's on the move again. Her next product launch is reportedly set to drop on another royal milestone, a wedding anniversary, or something else equally sacred. The timing, intentional. Palace staff have a new term for it now, grief marketing, and it's not a joke. That's what they're calling it, a whole strategy built on carefully timed pain, nostalgia, and rebellion. Because it's not about what she's selling, it's about when she sells it and what message it sends. Critics say it's a pattern. Exploit emotion, hijack royal symbolism, dominate the narrative, and every time it sparks outrage, it feeds the machine. Clicks, shares, headlines, coverage. Even if the product is just private label wine or outsourced skincare, the drama sells it. A brand expert even said, cold as ice. If the product's thin, the story better be thick. And she knows how to thicken a story. But here's where the tides might be turning. Because the old guard in Hollywood, they're done. The power brokers, the event organizers, brand executives, PR insiders, they're backing away, quietly but noticeably. Brands are distancing. Big events, she's not on the list. And perhaps the loudest silence of all, former allies have gone ghost. Even Netflix, the Sussex's golden goose, is reportedly reassessing. Yep, the platform that once rolled out the red carpet, they're pulling back. Why? Their last project didn't perform. The hype fizzled, the numbers weren't there. The cost benefit is now tilting way into the red. So now Meghan's supposed safe space is starting to feel more like a trapdoor. And inside Meghan's orbit, oh, the cracks are starting to show. Whispers about a separation, once laughed off as tabloid clickbait, are getting louder. Legal insiders in London say discreet inquiries have been made. Nothing official, nothing public, but very, very real. And Meghan, apparently she's already prepping for her next move, a solo memoir, one that tells her side of the story on her terms. Title ideas that have been thrown around: betrayal, freedom, the truth about him. Not subtle, right? And the implication is crystal clear. If a divorce happens, it won't be quiet. Meghan's not walking away quietly. She'll publish, she'll talk, she'll own the ending, and she'll package it for profit. But if that's her endgame, then Harry becomes both the story and the casualty, because he knows what's in that vault, if it exists. And if she starts talking and he tries to push back, it won't just be a messy breakup. It'll be mutually assured destruction. One royal aide summed it up with bone-chilling clarity: this won't end in court, it'll end in a leak. All it takes is one file, one clip, one voice recording, and everything the crown has tried to protect shatters. So now, everyone's asking the same question: who's going to blink first? And what happens when they do?